to the right and straight on till morning. That Peter had told Wendy was the way to the Neverlands. But even birds, carrying maps and consulting them at windy corners, could not have sighted it with these instructions. Peter, you see, just said anything that came into his head. She gave him a look of the most intense admiration. She thought it was because he had run away, but it was really because he knew fairies. I don't know whether you've ever seen a map of a person's mind. Doctors sometimes draw maps of other parts of you, and your own map can become intensely interesting. But cats that try to draw a map of a child's mind, which is not only confused but keeps going around all the time. There are zigzag lines on it, just like your temperature on a car. These are probably roads in the island, for the Neverland is always more or less an island. It has astonishing splashes of color here and there, and savages and lonely lairs, and gnomes who are mostly tailors, and caves through which a river runs, and princes with 6 elder brothers, and a hut fast going to decay, and one very small old lady with a hooked nose. It is all rather confusing, especially as nothing will stand still.
We used to go to Shivaji Park, roundabout, then there were swings and talking and again looking at boys but not looking, then their comments, that was quite a different type of fun. I remember we used to go to Varali Seaface, which was the very in thing that time to go for with your beau or with your payans. That was really enjoyable that time. Not many people, quite nice to walk, quite isolated I should say.
हाँ, उसके बाद मैं गई सेंटा क्रूज में मेरी हो गई शादी और वहाँ पे हम लोग पूरे फुल फैमिली रहते थे। बहुत बड़ा हमारा फैमिली था, वी एंजॉय अ लॉट्स। फिर मुझे एक लड़की हो गई और 5 फ्लोर्स का हमारा बिल्डिंग था और हम लोग सब साथ में ही रहते थे। सबका किचन अलग था लेकिन सब साथ में ही रहते थे। तो बद्री विशाल में हमारा फुल फैमिली के साथ में हम लोगों ने बहुत एंजॉय किया है, जो अब तक मैं कभी नहीं भूल सकूंगी और ना कभी मैं भूलना चाहती हूँ। आई लव माय बद्री विशाल।
That is what I still remember that, and that fun I'm never having. Even whenever we go to 5-star hotel, this that, whatever we may be spending thousands of rupees now, but that fun is that fun. When we were hardly we were having 10 rupees in our pocket, and we wanted to visit all the restaurants. It was like that. That was in Churchill, right? At Ghatkopar, Shreyas Talkies was there, and which was the movie? Just a minute, I have to remember. Do Raste? No. Prem. I'll tell you. Sharmila Tagore and Rajesh Khanna. Prem, but something like that, you know. It was a love story. That was my first movie with Sarla. Right? After 6:30, then we went. Which restaurant? That was first I took her air-conditioned restaurant. Otherwise, we used to go to all South Indian restaurant where you can have idli dosa.
First hospital, माझे housemanship, nice. In Pudar Medical College, 6 months. As in surgical ward. Too much work and satisfied with job satisfaction and sincerity, and that time that air can become a doctor and everything at that age, everything nice. Every throughout world I have gone so many places. In India, whole India I have seen. But Mumbai is Mumbai. It is a मोहमयी नगरी. इसके लिए तो बोलते हैं इसका मोह लग जाता है. Once you are in Bombay and you stay there, as a student also, you won't like anywhere else.
Of all delectable islands, the Neverland is the snuggest and most compact, not large and sprawly, with tedious distances between one adventure and another, but nicely crammed. I don't know how there was room for everybody, but you can squeeze very tight in the Neverland. They flew away when you continue to the Neverland where the lost children are. When you play in it by day with the chairs and tablecloth, it is not in the least alarming, but in the 2 minutes before you go to sleep, it becomes very real. That is why there are night lights. In the old days at home, Neverland had always begun to look a little dark and threatening by bedtime. Then unexplored patches rose in the air and spread. Black shadows moved about in them. The roar of the beasts of prey was quite different now, and above all, you lost the certainty that you would win. You were quite glad that the night lights were on. You even liked Nana to say that this was just the mantelpiece over here and that the Neverland was all make-believe. Of course, the Neverland had been make-believe in those days, but it was real now, and there were no night lights, and it was getting darker every moment. And where was Nana?